Great, we are going to go over our review for this unit. So the first thing I'd like for you guys to do is read that first question to yourself. So from this, we know that we're dealing with a rectangle. We have a length of 21, a width of 15. So I know that I'm going to need to find the area. So when we look at our reference sheet, we know that the formulas that we're looking at are going to be a rectangle is a type of parallelogram. It's base times height. So base times height and length times width are the same thing. So we're going to say 21 times 15 to get us our area. So that's going to give us 315 feet squared. The cost of the carpet, including padding and installation, will be $42 per square yard. What is the total cost of the carpet with padding and installation for Howard's room? So notice how our area here is in square feet. If we want to do something in square yards, we're going to need to convert this. And actually, the easiest way to probably convert this is to change at the beginning. So if I have a length of 21 feet, that's 7 yards. And if I have a width of 15 feet, that's 5 yards. So this is going to be 35 yards squared. It's probably easier to convert these than it is to convert later. Okay, so if I'm going to use my area in yards. If you're not sure how I did that, we just divide by 3 because there's 3 feet in every yard. So 42 per square yard means I'm going to have to take my area and multiply by 42. So 42 times 35 gives me a total cost of $14.70. Number 2, the boundaries of a city are in the shape of a right trapezoid with measurements shown below, and the population density of the city is 25 people per square mile. If the average amount of personal debt for each person in the city is $3,000, then what is the total personal debt in dollars for the entire city? So I know I'm going to have to find area. Area of a trapezoid is on our reference sheet. Our bases are these two. Our height is going to be this distance between our bases. So our height is the 16. So when I plug in all these values, I have 1/2 of 16 times 17 plus 29. I always want to do what's in the parentheses first, so I'm going to add my two bases together. And I've got 1/2 of 16 times 46. And then I'm just multiplying these three things together. 1/2 times 16 times 46. So I've got 368, and this is in miles. So miles squared. It says there's 25 people per square mile. So if I want to find out my total people, I'm going to take 368 and multiply by 25 because there's 25 people in every 1 mile. So times 25 gives me 9,200 people. Okay, if the average amount of personal debt for each person is $3,000, then what is the total personal debt in dollars for the entire city? So I'm going to take the amount of people I have and multiply that by $3,000 because each person has $3,000 debt. So it's a really big number. Let me double check and make sure I multiplied correctly. Yep. So 276, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 27,600,000. Number 3, Brittany needs to replace the glass in her arch window with a semicircle and a rectangle as shown in the figure below. So we want to keep in mind that we've got a rectangle and a semicircle. If the cost of the glass is $50 per square meter, what will be the cost to replace the glass in the window above? So I want to do the two shapes separately, right? A semicircle plus a rectangle. If this is 2 all the way across, this is the center of the circle, I know that my radius is going to be 1. Because if it's 1 on each side, right, because it's 2, my radius is 1. If my radius is 1 in that direction, my radius is 1 in this direction too. So that means if this whole length is 5, and I know this part is 1, then this distance from here to here is only 4. So my rectangle is going to be 4 here and 2 here. That's the easiest area. I just multiply those together and I get 8. My semicircle, we have a radius of 1. Okay, to do a whole circle, we do pi r squared, but since it's half of a circle, we have to take half of that answer. So I'm going to fill in a 1 for my r. 1 squared is just 1. 1 times 1/2 is just 1/2. So it's 1/2 times pi, and it says use 3.14. So I'm going to say 1/2 times 3.14 gives me 1.57. And I'm adding this 8, just bringing it down from there, so I'm going to get 9.57. And this is in meters squared. If it costs $50 per square meter, I have to take my area and multiply by 50. So 478.5, and this is money. So if it's money, I want my cents placed there, right? So 50 cents. So $478.50. A pool in the shape of a right rectangular prism. So what does a right rectangular prism look like? It looks like a box. Okay. That was not a great box, but there's a box. A pool in the shape is 18 feet long by 15 feet wide. So 18 by 15 and 6 feet deep. If 1 cubic foot of water weighs 62.41 pounds, what will be the weight of the water to the nearest pound when the pool is filled with half a foot remaining at the top? So half a foot remaining at the top means the water's not quite to the top. If it's a 6-foot pool and my height leaves a half a foot at the top, it's only going to be 5.5 for my height because it's 5.5 instead of 6. How do I find the area, how do I find the volume of a box? It's just length times width times height. So 15 times 18 times 5.5. You'll multiply all of those together. So I get 1,485, and this is feet cubed. It says 1 cubic foot is 62.41 pounds. So I'm going to take all my feet and multiply by 62.41. So I've got 92678.85. Oops, not money. Pounds. Okay, pounds. I'm going to stop the video here and make a new video for the next page.